Welcome back to the HVAC Budget Channel. Tonight we have the Victorinox Midnite Manager Keychain Multitool. And this multi-tool right here really fills in a gap that other multi-tools just do not have the specific tool set that this just seems to perfectly complement by its tool set. So let's go ahead and get started looking at some of these tools. First of all, I wanted to mention that this is definitely not the Dollar General, Dollar Tree multi-tool that I grew up with. I remember seeing these red tools and you would get them for about $1, $5, bring them home, and they were made along these same lines, but the scales would always fall off. And really, it's sort of, I was not that impressed with buying any of these. I had no desire to buy a Swiss Army knife because, again, I bought so many of the cheap ones and they just fell apart on me, and I think it sort of ruined my ideal of what these would be. But since I bought this, I was very impressed with it. It's done a really good job, and I would highly recommend this tool. So this is a Midnite Manager, and a couple features that this has. First of all, the flashlight. Really neat that this symbol is actually the push button for the flashlight, and that is a very, very bright light. Now there's a couple models of these, and the older models, as I understand, had a red LED light, but this is the newer model, and it's a pretty bright light for what it is. Again, this is a very small keychain light. What I like about this is that you can replace the batteries. So I've had a couple models that were rechargeable. They had a mini USB port. You recharge them, which sounds good in theory, but unfortunately the battery would drain. It seemed like over time, over about a week, and I would go to press the tab, no light. Have to charge it up again, and it just became a pain. I've been carrying this for over a week now, and the light is still as bright as it ever was. I believe you can take off this scale, perhaps right there, and then change the battery in there. So usually I'm always for rechargeable, USB rechargeable things, but for keychain tools, for whatever reason, a lot of times these tabs get depressed in your pocket, or I'm not sure if just the battery technology is inferior and it drains over time. But this tool is doing a really good job. So one of the things I do miss is I always like a backup light. I like to have a backup light somewhere in my tool set that I have with me in my keychain or in my billfold. And that is huge to me, that fulfills that purpose. I don't need a light for self-defense. Like I know some people EDC carry a light with 1,000 lumens. I just want something small enough so when it's in a pinch, I can use that flashlight. So again, I'm very happy with that. All right, so moving on to the second thing that really sold me on this, and that's the pin. Now in HVAC, I'm always filling out labels on the furnace, or I'm dropping off paperwork at the office. And it seems like I'm always finding myself in a situation where I forgot my pen in my pocket, and I really like to have a backup pen on a multi-tool. Now I realize that's something very specific for me. Most people may not need that. It may seem old-fashioned now, but I still really need a pen every day, and this fulfills that need. It is changeable. You can replace this cartridge. Again, I think you take the scale off. I have not had to do that yet, but it has this push button. And I do find that you do have to be very intentional to push this all the way back. Sometimes I've accidentally left that sticking out. It hasn't poked me or anything, but you do have to be intentional to push that back. All right, and then the third tool that, let's see, the scissors, if I can find where they're at. I guess they're on this side. So the scissors. Just today I was using these scissors. Very handy to have a pair of scissors in your pocket. And I know a lot of people in their main multi-tool, they desperately need a pair of scissors, whether it's the Leatherman Wave, they want a pair of scissors, or the Surge, or whatever you're carrying, it has to have a pair of scissors. And I know some people really complain about the Leatherman Rebar does not have a pair of scissors. Well, this sort of helps cure some of those problems when you have this tiny tool and it comes with really good set of scissors for what I need. Now, what I need a pair of scissors for are just those few times during the week when something needs cut by scissors. Usually I can always use a knife. I really don't find a need daily for scissors. I'd be curious, you can leave a comment below what you daily use your scissors for. Sometimes I'm puzzled why people are so desperate to have a pair of scissors, but I'd be interested in knowing. For instance, today I used it to cut some twine. We were making a craft for my daughter's birthday party, and so that's where that came in handy. It actually was not even in my daily work day. But it did come in handy, so it's nice to have that backup pair of scissors there. So then we find some of these tools I may not use as much. This is a screwdriver. Also has the nail file there on that side, which can come in handy because I'm always messing up my fingernails at work, and it's not so much of a looks thing, but just they get so messed up with working with metal and everything that they end up almost getting snagged on my pants. So I like to alleviate that issue. All right, so then we find this is a combo tool, a bottle cap lifter. We find it's got this nick for the wire stripper. Again, I'm not real impressed with these wire stripper tools. I haven't used this one, to be frank, but I never found one that's that good. So then also this is the Phillips tool head, and this one right here is labeled as being magnetic. Not sure, I don't think I've tried that one yet, but it seems to have a good profile, and I'm sure it'll work pretty good. All right, and so then I think we have the knife. Yes, we do. The knife is the last tool on this multi-tool, and the knife does work very well. Use that again to open some presents today, and does a really nice job. Also use this to get a splinter out of my foot, and was able to get that out. So all kinds of uses you would not think. So this is a very good multi-tool for your keychain. I wanted to bring in the Byberry multi-tool keychain that I did a review on. This again has the scissors, so that is something. It's got a lot beefier looking pair of scissors as well. If I can, there we go, rotate these. So these are implements that, again, someone said fit in some of the Gerber tools. So this has a lot of implements, but what I found is that this was just a little too heavy. It ended up feeling like there was a rock on my keychain, whereas in this Victorinox, you can see it's so much slimmer, so much shorter, and just so much lighter. You don't really even notice it's there, at least not for me. All right, I don't want to keep this video too long, but just letting you know, the Midnite Manager, very good buy. I recommend it. It is $45 new, so I bought this used off eBay, I think for about $15. I would definitely go used on this, but for $15, definitely a good buy. All right, have a good night, and I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe.